Warning, this is Jake's first walkthrough of Katawa Shoujo and is going down Emmy's route. Some contents may be inappropriate for kiddies.
Previously on Katawa Shoujo.
What are you doing down here, Hishio? Well, I came to see you, girl. What do you think? She look... Oh, we say the B word. Beautiful. She looks beautiful. Damn right. I'm Emmy Ibaruzaki, fastest thing on no legs. I give her a hug. Oh, so we go hug time. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, you hear me, Sky? You stop that raining right now, this instant. She's sick in bed. No! Dang it! Wind up in this sort of position. Hi! About this track captain guy. Two of them are... will never do anything like that. Ah! Victory is ours! Then it happens. What? What? What's going on? Emmy not running. Witchcraft!
And our story continues.
Hey everybody out there! In YouTube land, Jake and the OneManBand is back again, playing more Katawa Shoujo. It's been a long time. I don't even remember what was going on, which is terrible. But apparently we're talking to Matao about Science Club, or what have you. Or is it the first? What do you think? Should we count yesterday as a meeting? We should definitely. Well, we did form a club yesterday, didn't we? That seems all club business, so we can safely call yesterday a meeting. Matao smiles in his usual silted and awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are just not shaped correctly to let him smile naturally. Well, that's mean. You really do have a knack for this, I think. Logical thought process, is it? That is, I guess so. A scientist speaks with authority, Hishio. The answer here is yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes! When the world wants you to know how it works, we tell it. Even if we've got is a decent hypothesis. Well, sometimes the world doesn't work that way. I mean, 500 years ago we thought the sun revolved around us. But we must sound certain anyway, because we're the authorities of the subject, right? He chuckles to go along with his awkward smile at his awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to grimace, but I don't think I'm being very successful. That's entirely false, of course. You know a lot, sure, but nobody's an expert on how the world works, if only because nobody can be for sure. With no certainty, there are no experts. Well, yeah, it's something called destiny and God, so we can't understand what God's doing. But we like to pretend sometimes. There's some things we can be certain of, right? Well, I guess, like gravity. And love? Yes, but no. We know gravity... Good job. We know gravity's there, for example. To illustrate, Matao picks up a pencil and drops it. See? Still there. But it's good to check every once in a while. Well, I'm pretty sure you standing there is checking gravity. That's why there's still some researchers mucking about with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance that something isn't how we think it is. So you check and check and check. That's science in a nutshell, Hishio. The whole time I've listened, feeling rather spellbound. Matao seems to really be passionate about this stuff. I think. It's hard to tell sometimes. How the world works. How humans work. How the universe works. Now you see, you're asking too many questions that you'll never get the answers to. All these questions to be answered. And depending on what I go into, maybe I can even figure out a way to fix my heart. That said, I don't think that's a real priority for me. Besides, as we start discussing the book he gave me yesterday, I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. Before we even realize it, the hour's gone by. Well, let's call this meeting over now, okay? We'll have another meeting tomorrow, or the day after. He considers this for a moment. Call it the day after. I've got a lot of grading to do. Okay, see you then. As I exit the classroom, I realize that I didn't really have anything to do tonight. We have to go make sure Emmy goes sees the nurse. We gotta do that. I do remember that. And Emmy and I didn't make plans, so I guess I'll go to the library. It beats doing homework in my room anyway. The library always seems cooler than the rest of the building. Probably to keep the books from getting damaged by excess heat and humidity. Books are sturdy objects, but if you want to keep them in good condition, it takes a little effort. I've got several books that are so well worn the pages are barely clinging to the spine. It seems impossible for them to still be useful, but if you handle them with care. I make my way to the main desk where I spot Yuko busying herself with something or another. She smiles at me as I enter and waves. Hello! Good to see you again. What are you looking for this time? Definitely books. Nothing in particular, I guess. I just didn't really feel like going back to my room is all. Yuka nods. Well, if you're not unoccupied, maybe you can help me look for something. Sure, what do you need? Yuka brings her finger to her lips and looks around. Shh, secrets. She seems to be looking for eavesdroppers. Come closer. I take a few hesitant steps forward while feeling distinctly unnerved. Yuka lowers her voice to a comfortable whisper. I'm on the trail of the Yamako cat burglar. Ooh, Jaws music. The what? Shh! Walls have ears, issue. Or they might. They have ears, yeah. But listen, these missing books, remember them? Yeah? Well, they went missing. They weren't missing, they were stolen. I'm convinced of it. Alright, now quick question. Now I know some people would do this, but what high school student would steal books? I'm a book freak, but I'd never steal them. That's just wrong. And besides, it's a library! I remember you saying something of that sort earlier, but how do you know? Yuko leans in closer and, if possible, whispers even lower. Because I found one of his hiding places. You did what? Yuko looks triumphant. Found one of his stashes it was under one of the stairwells in the boys' dorm. 3 books I'd been looking for all there. Wait. It's Kenji, isn't it? It's definitely Kenji. Boom! Master Detective Jake! Yeah! I suspected a thief before, but this proves it. So, did you take the books back? Yuka looks as if I just suggested she walks around naked. Are you nuts? He couldn't know I'm onto him. He might go to ground and evade escape. Uh-huh. So what you do need my help with then? Yuka casts another glance around the library and leans in closer. You got to spy for me. Spy? Yeah, like when you're in the dorms, you know? Keep an eye out for any suspicious activity. I live next to suspicious activity. What constitutes suspicious anyway? I mean, Kenji's a pretty suspicious dude, but I'll wager he barely goes to class, much less sneaks into the library to pilfer books. And that's why it's so obvious. Still, what's the harm in saying yes? At least it'll get me out of this weird conversation. Yeah, I can do that, no problem. Yuka straightens up and claps excitedly. Great! hurry up and talk about something else, or in case someone comes in. How's the school treating you? Or pretty well, actually. I've been running in the mornings with, Emi Urizabaki, right? Yeah. Okay, we're back to normal music. How'd you know? I served you two in the tea house, remember? Doye! I deducted that if you were going to run with anyone, it would probably be her, on the account that she probably is the only one who actually runs. She looks pleased with herself. Impressive. Anyway, yeah, I've been running in the mornings. And, we kinda started dating, kinda, sorta. Just happened, you know, like a day ago or something. Yuka claps her hands together excitedly. Really? That's great! I bet you two are great together. I love seeing people find one another like that, you know. I even thought to myself when you walked into the Shanghai that one time, I wonder if that kid will wind up with one of those girls. Really? Yuka doesn't seem to notice my somewhat weirded out tone and nods affirmatively. Yep. I could tell that you'd wind up with one of them, you know. I've got an eye for that sort of thing. Of course. Her expression droops slightly. I'm not so good at it myself. Oh, it's okay. You can always help us out. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's not true. Oh, it's true. I met this guy once. We got along really great, but it turned out he was younger than me. Really. And that was kind of weird, but not terribly so. What was really weird was that he disappeared one day, and I've not seen him since then. Huh, that does seem kind of odd. Doesn't it? Well, where'd you meet this guy? Maybe I can track him down for you. I hope it wasn't something I did. I feel compelled to reassure her. I'm sure it wasn't. Oh, hello, phone. You're nice. I intended to try to calm her down further, but we both jump in surprise at the ringing suddenly coming from my pocket. Heart attack! I'm susceptible to heart attacks, phone! Yuko sighs to steady herself as I pull the phone from my pocket. I feel a little sheepish for indirectly causing the incident. Yeah, hello? Yeah, Emmy, what's up? Oh, thank God! I haven't called your phone before, so I didn't know if this number would work or whatever you picked up, and then I can't... Whoa! There, Emmy. Slow down! You're okay. Okay, now what do you want? What's wrong? There's a pause on the other side of the line, during which I can hear Emmy trying to control her breathing in order to calm down. Emmy! You didn't go running again, did you? 'Cause, you know, you had trouble this morning. Something's got her terribly agitated, and it's starting to agitate me. Can you stop by? Like now, or shortly after now? Stop talking like Rin! You're not Rin. She's been hanging out with Rin too much. I really, really need to talk to you. There's a tone of pleading in the last sentence that I don't think I've ever heard from her before. Of course, I'll be right there. This is not good. Hold steady, okay? In my increasingly agitated state, I've apparently started saying things that don't quite make sense. Okay, I'll be okay. See you soon. Okay. Calling me when I'm in the library. I press the button to end the call, slipping my phone into my pocket. Apologize to Yuko for running off and run off. I'm sorry that I'm running off. Pew! Kind of rhetorical, but anyway. Perhaps at some point I would have stopped to think about the time or how suspicious it looks for a guy to enter the girls' dorm at this hour. Hey! My girlfriend needs me! Nothing suspicious at all! Except right now, I'm just concerned with getting to Emmy and finding out what's wrong and how I can help her. I knock on the door and I'm greeted by a subdued come in. Something is very wrong as I stare at the scene before me. Well, everything looks normal. Emmy's there, yes. But she's in a wheelchair. Her legs! Why? And her legs are missing. I glance around the room and see them sitting in a corner. looking like they've just been thrown there. Emmy responds to my entrance with a lopsided grin that is both pleased to see me and completely and utterly heartbroken. Hi, Hishio. Okay, obviously something is very bad. But it's probably for the best. The nurse knows what he's doing. It looks like she's been crying, but if she was, she stopped now. I noticed that I'm a little out of breath having taken the stairs 2 at a time in order to get here. My heart doesn't seem to mind the strain, though. I file that happy fact away for later consideration. Like when I'm not staring somewhat dumbstruck at my girlfriend in a wheelchair. Yeah, man, bad day, bro. Realizing I've still not responded to her greeting, my brain lurches into gear. Emmy, what happened? Guess I should have listened to you, Hishio. My legs got a nasty... No! Infection legs! Bad! I'm not allowed to run on it for at least a couple of weeks. She gives a bit of a laugh, and then that shouldn't be coming from her. Hey, I couldn't even walk on it. I could have used a crutch to keep one of my legs, but I didn't see the point. Why hop? You can't run on one leg. At least that way I can still, I don't know, roll fast or something. Yeah, this is actually terrible. This is terrible. It's good, right? My awkward attempt to look on the bright side seems appreciated but not really efficient. Emmy shrugs again. It's just kind of a nuisance. I mean, we can't even eat on the roof now. No wheelchair access. Yeah, but that's no big deal. Your health is what's important, okay? This is just a little speed bump. Little rest stop on the road of runningness. Yeah. I mean, we can still eat together, and that's the important thing. That lopsided grin again. It hurts to look at. I suppose so, yeah. But, like I said, it's a nuisance. I mean, I haven't really used a wheelchair in... She thinks for a minute. Maybe 7 years? Something like that anyway? So, like, since you were, like... 10? 9? 11-ish? Somewhere around there? You know, I don't really know what the appropriate age of all these people are, but I'm guessing it's probably 18-ish? Almost young adult. That's what I'm guessing at. A long time. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of practice. Well, fortunately, it's only temporary, right? I mean, not. See, that's the important thing. Look on the bright side of things. It's only temporary. Little speed bump. You're gonna be fine. Okay? Yeah, of course. It's not like I've lost them permanently. Well, you kind of lost your legs permanently, but you have fake legs. So, yeah. Bad joke, I'm sorry. But it's a pain in the ass all the same. I nod sympathetically. There's not much else I can do after all. What am I gonna do? Say I told you so? Although I did tell her to get that leg looked at. But at the time I noticed, it was too late anyway. Do you need help with anything? Or, that is, can I help with anything? Emmy shakes her head, and there's a bit of her usual grin back. Nah, I can manage fine by myself. Just ask for help. It's okay. Although if you want to help me over to my bed, it would save me the trouble of rolling over there myself. Oh, man. I blush in spite of myself. You're a lazy girl. Emmy giggles. You're such a prude, Hishio. Well, excuse me, princess. I'm not a prude. I just want to take advantage of a young woman such as yourself. Ungentlemanly. It's ungentlemanly. Push, 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 push. I wheel Emmy's chair to her bed and easily scoop her up, not scope out. Scoop her up and deposit her there. She quickly sorts herself out and sits on the side. She's actually a little heavier than she looks, but... But you've carried her before! What? Well, I guess he did have adrenaline pumping through his body, but... It would be rude for me to observe this aloud, of course. Man, you're kind of heavy, but you do it anyway. And he hits me with a pillow in the Batman-style fashion. Ass. Just saying, that's all. Is all. Might be all that running. Well, it's all muscle, then. At the mention of running, Emmy grin falters slightly. Okay. Things not to mention to Emmy. Running. It's bad. Hey. Well, I guess I wouldn't have to worry about that for a bit, huh? Maybe I'll lose some weight. That's what you do to lose weight, right? Cease physical activity? I'm pretty sure that the nurse would recommend. Speaking of which, are you going to still be showing up in the mornings? I hate to run alone. Oh, shit. Emmy sudden interjection, more as delinquent muttering than anything too profound, causing me to look over my shoulder. She's leaning forward, trying to cover the fact that she's crying by covering her eyes with a hand. Don't cry! It's terrible! Of course, the subdued sobbing makes it pretty obvious that she's crying. I don't need to run. I don't. Hey, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything, okay? I place my hand gingerly around her and pull her close. I could think of nothing else to say or do. How do I comfort someone who just lost their legs again? And you know, I thought I would never say that. Lost legs again. It's like a double take on Lieutenant Dan. Emmy wraps me in a hug and stays with me for a while. Sorry. I'm pretty bad at this whole conversation thing, I guess. Don't say that. I'm fine, really. Her voice is slightly muffled by my chest, and I pat her head reassuringly. You know, I just noticed something. We've almost gone this entire episode, because it's not done yet, but we've gone this entire episode so far with no new kisses. It's amazing! That's the spirit, right? You'll get through this fine, I know it. Besides, I'm here to help you, remember? Me, Mr. Help. Emmy lifts her head and stares at me with tear-stained eyes. Can you? Can you really? Well, yeah! Well, duh, that's what I'm here for. She grins lopsidedly and something sparkles in her gaze. I can't tell if I've been mocked or not. Of course, I mean, hey! Why did you hit me? Of course, I mean, sure, you're a bit heavy, but my witty comment is cut off by a sudden press of Emmy's lips. Dang it! Kiss! We were this close! I'm caught off guard, and I'm rewarded by hitting my head on the wall behind her bed. Ow! So a kiss and a concussion! Emmy pulls back, trying to look concerned, rather. And then she's about to laugh. Are you okay? And she chokes back a laugh. Sorry. I rub my head ruefully and grin back at her. Caught me off guard there. Next time, we fight Taekwondo style. Is that going to become a habit? Am I going to be lectured by Shizune and Misha more? As I mention the duo, Emmy giggles. Honestly, those two. If I didn't know why, I'd be utterly confused as to why she hangs around with somebody so bossy. Which one are you talking about? You know exactly which one, Hishio. Misha. Misha's hardly bossy. Well, they're kind of the same. It's kind of like a hive mind thing they got going on. So, what's the reason then? Huh? The reason why Misha hangs around Shizune. Misha waves my question off with a smile. No idea. I see. That's probably something we would learn if we went down that route. Anyway, you seem to be forgetting the original question, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess I am. Now what was the original question? I don't even remember. You wouldn't mind giving a guy a little warning, would you? Otherwise, I'm liable to wind up with a concussion. I emphasize the point by rubbing the back of my head. Emmy giggles madly. You could wear a helmet. That we could. That we could. Some kids here do, you know. Well, that's because they probably... Or I can just take revenge. End the episode here. I'm sorry, but I really should. Anyway, like and favorite if you've enjoyed, subscribe of course, and did you like my menacing laugh? Because it felt really good to just laugh menacingly for once, but I'll see you guys next time. I'm out there on YouTube, and I'll see you then. Yeah.
Bullseye.